I'm Patrick Bailey with whiteboardcoder.com. Today is February 10th, 2020, and in this video I'll be going to create Excel files programmatically using Python and openpyxl libraries, which I've been doing recently in some other videos, and I'll put some links in the show notes to those videos. But in this video I'm going to be focusing on number formatting in the Excel file, and I'll have to explain what that is. So with that, let's get going. Okay, so real quickly, let me show you some websites and some URLs. So here's the openpyxl libraries. We have some README documents. Here's a simple usage, and I'll be putting these in the show notes, but I just want to highlight them here real quickly. Also, for this, I have done a blog post. There's openpyxl number format, and I'll put a link there too, and you could probably easier grab some code from there. Also, there's several videos I've done recently on openpyxl, and I'll put links in the show note to those. So there's how to install it on Ubuntu and get it working. There's how to convert JSON, and there's also a JSON round 2. Which I want to focus on because in here, just to make these files, I'll be doing the same thing using JSON to create my Excel spreadsheets. And then I have some gist I put out here. Oops, as I poke around. Some gist I put up of the code. So here is the the JSON file that we'll be using. And here's the basic file we'll be using. And there's some other files as we progress that will make some other files in here. But I'll put those links in the show notes. And some more and more and more. Also, here's openpyxl that goes over some details of the code of the styles, which we'll circle back around. But for right now, for this portion of the video, we're going to talk about number format codes. So if I go and open an Excel spreadsheet here, you know, we're used to a lot of this. So I'll come in here and I'll just write 100.25, and that's just a number, but I can apply something to it. Let me just make it big. We'll just make the font bigger. Big, 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 big. And so we're used to this. We can come over here and hit the $sign, and boom, the $sign's applied. And a lot of different things happen that are kind of going on behind the scenes that we actually don't see. Now, for my purposes, I'm really okay just using the built-in functions. I would be fine. But it turns out, at least in openpyxl, I don't understand all the reasons. They don't provide exactly the ones I need. Like the one I'm using right now is accounting, and I can't. It's not actually included. They haven't done it by default. So I had to go recreate it myself, which forced me to go understand how they do this. And in fact, most of these in here, they don't have. So you have to go make your own. Now in here, very interesting enough, in in Excel, you can go make a custom format. So I can come down here and say more number formats. And I can go down here to custom. And down here, you'll notice there's this strange little bit of symbols here. And now if you're coding, and hopefully you're a coder if you're doing this, because we're going to be coding in Python, this might look like a language. It is. It's kind of like a regular expression languagey on how to format numbers. And so what we have, I'll go over here. I'll go read up on here. There's an article from Microsoft showing how this format works. And so what this format does is you have 4 sections, and separated by semicolons. So the first section is how you format the number if it's positive. The second section is how you format the number if it's negative. The third section is how you format it if it happens to be a 0. And the fourth section is how you format it if it is text. So we can look over here. There's some interesting things going on just with the formatting. So here is positive. Here's negative, and you might not think about it, but it put curly braces on it. Now if I put 0, there's a dash. And if I put text, I can just put text in here, and text is formatted a certain way. But see, if I copy this, and I go to General, that text is left justified. So there's actually some space here. So it's very interesting. They actually do some stuff to format this a certain way. And so I can actually come in here, and I can make my own format up based on what I've learned so far. Let me go pull something here. There you go. I can come down here and say, okay, I want to make a new format in Excel, custom, and I'll say, did I make a new? I haven't tried this. Did I make a new one? Oh, they just have ones you can edit. Never mind. I guess can I not make one here? Or maybe I just have to start typing it myself. Okay, so I can come in here and say $, pound, comma, pound, 0.00, semicolon. And so now I've made up this new custom format. However, when I did that, I only applied the positive. So let me copy and paste this. And you can see up here I still have my custom. But now if I put a negative 100.25, it disappears. Even though that number is there, I haven't defined how to format a negative number. I think 0 might show up. Yeah, 0 does show up. It's a special case where it can be applied to the positive. But I come in here, put text in here, and test went through. I didn't think that would. But definitely negative doesn't come through. So you can see you have to format these. So with that, interesting enough. Now with that, let me go get some code running, and then we will start formatting cells. Okay, let's save a little time by doing some copy and pasting. So let me copy this JSON file here. So I'll do a budget.json and place this in here. Of course, the easier way would have been just to pull it down from the URL itself. So now I can use the JQ tool to test it to make sure it's valid JSON, and it is. Good. So next I'll go over here and do the same thing, copy and paste this code over here. And let's see, we'll call it create excel.py. We'll place it in here, and then we got to do a couple of tweaks to it. So the rest of it should be good. So at this point, this should read this in and create an Excel spreadsheet. Only thing we got to do is change that to come on. Change original.json to budget.json, and I think we should be good. So we'll save that. I'll go over here, change mod, user plus execute, create Excel. Okay, now let me run it, and good. Looks like it worked, and we made a test JSON XLS file. So now I will pull that file in. I'm doing it on a server right now, so I'll just pull it in here, and I'll open it, and we will see what we have. So we pulled all our data in. Now I'm not doing any functions yet, so it looks like I got all my data. Life is looking good. So perfect. We're working as intended. So now we want to actually tweak the code a little bit so we can actually format something. So to do that, we're going to pull in some stuff. So we'll say from openpyxl import numbers. There we go. So import these numbers. And what we'll do at first is we will just adjust the last cell. So we will come up here and we'll make a format that we'll reuse. Well, we can tweak every single one. So I'll say format. My goal is to kind of get just an accounting format, except for I'm going to make it red when it's negative. So I'll say format accounting. And here's where that language comes in. So we'll make it very basic to begin with. So what we'll do is we'll say and so now we'll say have the language here. So we'll say $, pound, pound. And the comma pound adjusts for like thousands. You don't have to have commas, but that's what we want. 0.00. And that, and a semicolon, that should get us a rough start with just getting our numbers correctly. And then we'll come down here and we'll say cell dot number format equals format account. I know there's prettier ways to do this, but we just want to kind of get a simple example working. So now it should apply, in each case we're grabbing that cell, and we should be applying this format to the second, third, and fourth column in each row. So in theory, this should give us a start. Oh, can't import numbers. Okay, what did I write wrong? From import numbers. Okay, I did something wrong. Styles, there we go. Open export. Dot styles. I think that's what I got written down here. Let's see if that works. Perfect. So we pull it over here again. open it. And now we can see, let me make the size bigger. I have my $sign and my numbers applied to in the exact areas I want, so we're close. However, if I take this and I put a -1,000, I get nothing. If I put a 0, I get a 0. But if I put text, I guess I do get text, but I'm not doing anything specific with it. And if I change this to accounting, it does change a little bit. So we're going to try to get as close as we can to the accounting. Except for I am going to do red with my negative, like hopefully I mentioned. So anyway, there we go with our number. But now let's go add another tweak to this, our negative. So we have that basic thing going. We'll come down here, and now we're going to add our negative. That's the next section. And so we'll say red, which is going to make it all red. And then pretty much the same thing, except we put it in quotes, right? 0.00. And so that should make us red with the parens around it. Copy that over, open it, and change that view. And we'll make that -1800. -800. And so now we've got something. Not exactly what function gets us, but we have a red negative. Now let's do the 0. Because right now, if I do 0, I don't get that slash, I just get, oops. Oh, there we go. Now that I'm defining more stuff, I put a 0 in there, I get nothing. So it expects me to define it now. If I put text, oh, I guess it's still taking that right now. Well, I guess we'll find out. Okay, so next, let's do 0. So 0, we're going to add just a dash. And then try that out. So now, make it big. Now we have -800 and 0. And you can see, we got our dash. Not exactly what we want exactly yet, but we've gotten further. But now, let me see if I put, okay, maybe it's a progressive thing. Because I have that semicolon, now if I put text in there, I get nothing because I have not defined it. So maybe as you try to define more stuff, you are required to do it, I guess. Okay, and then the last one, now I want to do text. I can just put at to represent text, and that'll put the text in there. Open it up. And so we'll say -800, 0, and text. But if I change these, so we got that done. But now if I try to change these to accounting, you can see it all shifts around a little bit. So I don't exactly have the right form. I did find what I think is pretty much the right form. And with that, I will kind of go into the details, which are a little fun. So what you need to do to get what they have going is lots of fun. So what you can do in the language, after this $sign, I can put a star. And what star says, it looks at the next character and it will fill in. So it'll put this in at the front, and it says, okay, I'll fill everything else in with spaces until I get to the number. That's how the accounting one works. And if I'm going to do that there, I want to do the same thing over here. And I'll get that. Yes, correct. And if I do that, I want to do the same thing with my space, right? I want to do, well, do I want to do, well, yeah, I guess I want to put a $sign and space there, right? And so we'll save that, which is going to get us closer to where I want to be, but not all the way. So now if I open it up, make it large. Now we see that $sign is way over there now. So that is kind of neat. If I make it negative, it's over there too. If I make oh, the dash is too close. Oops, I made a mistake. Because it sees that dash. There you go, I made that, that's wrong. Because it's repeating that dash. If I put the space here, now that should get what I want. Let me kill that, create that, copy it, open. Okay, so -800, make that big, 0. There we go. But again, so we're closer, but if I go back to here, there's a couple other things that happen. You'll see how things line up differently. And that's because there are some adjustments made in here. So this is where the language gets a little more complicated, but I did figure it out. So what you want to do is you want to make all the periods line up. You want the dot to line up just right. And this happens to be lined up right at the moment, but depends on the text and the font. So what you want to do is you want to say this fun thing. What you want to do is you say underscore paren. What that says is underscore, take the next character and make kind of like a fake character. So put enough space in there to put a paren in there, but don't actually put the paren in there. And if I do that, that would line up with the paren if it's negative. And then I want to do that same thing in the front of this. So I'll have a well, that's not quite right what I wrote, huh? Depends on what you want to do. Okay, so if I have that paren, I want that. Looks like my notes aren't quite exactly right. Yeah, that would be different, wouldn't it? So this will say, hey, make a space for the paren right there, which I guess you don't. No. There's another little fun thing because there's actually I don't need to put a paren there because there's space here, but actually in front of this, there actually is a little bit of space. So if I go here, you'll see all my dollar signs are right to the left. But if I put this, there's a little bit of tiny space. And so what I did to accomplish that is I did that in front of that, which says, hey, make enough space for a paren. I probably could have put a space there, but it seemed to work better when I did that. And over here, I can do the same thing, make a space for a paren in the front. And I need to do that for this one too. Make a space for a paren in the front and make a space for a paren in the front. Now this dash, how do we want to line that up? So what we have is we want to line this dash up with the period too. So you say dash and you say underscore 0 underscore 0 underscore paren. So make a space so that this would, as if this is a dot. So make a space for a 0, make a space for another 0, and make a space for a paren at the end. That way they'll line up. And with this, we have that, and we have a space for a paren in the front. And I think that gets us as close as I want to get. We'll create that, secure copy that over. Oh, I have the file open. Let me close it. Open it again. And now, let me see what we got going on. So now we can see I got a little space there. If I have -800 and I have a 0, you can see they all line up there with a dot. Also, let me copy this and put in that. That lines up just perfectly. And so now if I take this, I'll copy it over here so I have the same format. And now if I change it to counting, I think I'm going to be close. The only difference is I think my red text should go, my negative text, which is red, should become black. Perfect. So I think that's as close as I can get. And I guess I need to go update my documentation because on my other code, what I had done is I didn't put this here. It looks like I put it somewhere else. Anyway, I tweaked it. No, I'm right. Okay, so there you go. So that's number format, and you can see how you can really tweak that a lot to get what you want. I just wanted to get this far with myself, but you can also refer over here and find a lot more information on how you want to do. You can change colors, all kinds of fun stuff. But it looks like in openpyxl, you're kind of forced to make a lot of custom stuff because they have a few things like general formats. They have a few things listed on, which page is it? There is this page. There's some general formats you can use from here, and you can reference these, but it doesn't have them all. And so you're kind of forced to typically come up with your own. But you can come in here and use things like the date. In fact, I should probably do an example of that, because if there's something in here you want to use this one. Okay, so I got it figured out. So just to add this last little bit, if you want to use one of these formats, so you're coming down here and see something like format currency euro simple, format currency USD, and those actually are written out right here in the language itself. Or some of these, they refer to built-in formats, which are actually defined up here. But same thing. So how to use those? All you got to do is at the top here, I've already imported the numbers, so I have that capability already. So I've come down here and I've replaced the last two here. Rather than being the format we made, I had numbers.format currency euro simple and format currency USD, which is directly from there. So that's as simple as that to use those. And then I can create them, pull them over here, open it up. And now you should see my second and third column should be using those. Oops, stop that. My third and fourth column should be using those, and my second column is using the one that I made. So I can go over here. Let me stop that. Let me make this big so you can see a little better. I should be able to come over here and say, 0, -800, and I get what I expect. Over here with the euros, maybe that's going to work if you... To me, it looks like they just wrote euro. But maybe that's something that can be replaced if you're on a European system. It's going to work just fine. I don't know. But you can see on mine, it's not doing what I want. And also here, the dollar signs are working. But if I go negative, I get that. I get some weird stuff. So it looks like but I want to show this because maybe the date time formats, which I'm not using right now, might just work fine. So if their date time formats are working, it's probably easier to use theirs that they've already well defined in here rather than trying to reinvent the wheel. So I just want to kind of cover that. So with that, there's number formats and how you do it in openpyxl to make your Excel sheet.
Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a like. To subscribe, just click the subscribe button. Also, you can follow me on Twitter under the handle @whiteboardcoder.com. View any code I may have thrown up as a gist at GitHub under the username PatmanDenver, or check out my blog site at whiteboardcoder.com.